Welcome, welcome. We're going into the Copper Crown Cup. The heck is that? You're going to find out. Pull up.
Pull-ups?
I was just wondering if you could pull it out. We made this copper cage, and Jake's blowing into it. The goal of doing copper was that we could save it. All right, put it on the bench horizontal and see if you can blow it. See if we can blow it anymore.
Can. Maybe look at the discoloration of that. Now, let me take a heat on it, and I'll see if I can tuck those copper wires into the body a little more.
It looks like when you cook a chicken, and you got like the chicken legs.
It's a little thin. I probably could have used a little more glass.
Yeah, I wonder. Oh, but now how are you going to get it off the pipe?
When it's that thin, I'm not sure.
So we did a piece last week, and we wanted to save it and anneal it and cool it, but we couldn't. So I was like, hey, let's try copper this week because we'll be able to save it. But
Should I just blast and blow it here?
yeah, I think so.
Give it the blow and blast for the people.
Why not?
I'm coming out
Okay.
with some hot action
Which way are you going?
right towards you.
Oh, there's a hole.
It exploded? Where's the hole? There it is. This is really beautiful right here, though. Really elegant. The glass is pushed in really nicely there. It probably would hold. I mean, look at.
You know
It
what?
actually
How are
got
you
hot
gonna get
enough
off?
it was sticking.
How are you going to get out the pipe? Do you want to just set it down in a tray, and throughout the night we can come back and see what it's doing?
Yeah. Sounds great. It's definitely, it was that heat. When I first blew into it, it wasn't hot enough for it to stick. What you were thinking was
Right.
this kind of bulbousness was going to hold on to that.
Yes.
And I thought it would be a mixture of both, where it'd be sticking and that action would do it. But there you go. I mean, that's what it is. And we learned, and now we're moving on.
And next week we'll try something else.
Now, Oliver's doing something he's never done before here. You guys better take a gander right at that.
Oliver is heating up some glass. Yes, you are on. I see the light. What do you want to say to us, Oliver?
Just doing some stuff I've never done before
On live TV.
on live TV.
That's what this is all about.
Where I asked Jake, hey, do you have any pointers? And he says, yeah. Just do it perfect.
That's all it is.
Oh, just get it in there. I mean, this is the reality. It takes some time to learn these, and the only way you can learn is by doing.
Absolutely.
I'm a hot proponent of Henry Ford's learn by doing, because you can tell people all day long, and about 2 sentences
Been a long
in,
one.
they stop thinking about what you're saying and don't remember anything. But when you do it, you remember.
And we'll remind you guys multiple times throughout the show that this is the gathering point. And welcome to the show. We got Oliver doing something experimental. Stay in there even longer, and then we'll do a flip around on the next one. Once you start to see a little bit of red glow on that left side, you can see the way the flame hits it, it'll change. You'll see a yellow flame coming off of it, kind of like how we finish the meditation globes. It's starting, you can tell it's getting a little bit hotter there. But we do this every Tuesday, and we're doing it right now. We're live on the FB and the YT. Let's flip it around, take it right to the bench, and we're going to do something we've never done before, as we like to do here on the show. Who was that?
Well, we're going to come back to that.
No idea.
'cause
I don't know who
you
that
want to
was.
point out who I am as well.
Yeah, we will. That was best, though. But look, we got a little bit of motion over here.
Motion meaning it's hot. Can't touch the plate. So these are like crazy barbecue tongs.
It's just barely, I mean, the plate's not glowing yet, but it eventually will start glowing. And if you guys are new to the show,
Put it in the chat. Tell us where you're from.
let us know where you're from, folks. We got a beautiful global audience. Last week's show did pretty darn well. If you didn't watch that one, we're on show 259 here, so every show we're trying something new, but for whatever reason last week, there was something that people were really enjoying. So we're here again this week, as we do every Tuesday.
So if you were new last week and you're back again, tell us how you found the show, why you're watching it. If something was different or you're just joining us, welcome.
Go a hair deeper if you can.
Every Tuesday night we do
Just a
the
wee
show 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay. Yep,
Why?
that's cool.
Because it's super fun.
On the
Oh,
YouTube
I see what you're
side,
saying. No, that's
we've
fine.
got Eric, Mary, and Norman saying hello on YouTube.
What up, gang?
On Facebook, we've got,
Let's do it. Flip it one more time.
let's see here, we've got Pat saying hello, Carrie saying hello, Carol saying hi from Sarnia, Gilda says hello from Westland, Dana says hey everyone, Mary Lou says hello, Pat says watching from good old Shelby Township, Sharon says greetings from Livonia.
Give it, oh, 1 second.
We've got Pam from Portsmouth, Rhode Island.
one more good
Hello. Vicky from Seattle. Hello. Pammy from sunny Australia.
Woo!
We've got Mary Lou from, I can never say this, but I'm going to try again, Perkiomenville, Pennsylvania.
Oh
PA,
my God.
baby.
Good old tongue twister. We've got Becky from Mississippi, Charlie from Mexico,
Ooh, Mexico.
Paula from the UK,
UK.
Susan from Indiana, and Oliver's grandma says hello.
Yay!
So that's going to be a good one there, Oliver. I'm going to go ahead and dunk in here.
Okay, before they do the stuff, I want to show you what the finished item is going to be. There are these really cool garden accents
Yep.
that we call percola reeds. Super fun, but we're doing some really fancy color
Just hang out. We'll probably do one more before I pick it
These
up.
are beautiful, but tonight we're doing some fancy smancy ones on the show. Why? Because we can. So these still are not quite hot enough. You'd think that they would be. They seem like they're soft and oozing.
Give it one more
But
dunk.
they're gonna go heat it up again.
I just picked up a nice layer, a pretty good sizable one of crystal clear glass out of our 2,000 degree furnace. And I'm gonna shape it up really long. This is completely experimental. Michelle just had an opportunity to show you the percola garden reeds that we make and that will be for sale at 6:30 tonight. That's perfect, Oliver. Hit the bench with it, and I'm gonna pick them up. You could even, with these guys or tweezers over there, just slide those metal pieces out of there.
Okay, they have two clips on the end, the metal pieces. These are round items, so the metal squares keep the glass from rolling off the plate, but we don't want to get those in the item. Carhartts are great, because when you have Carhartts, you can tuck your tweezers in your side pouch. However, these guys don't have Carhartts on, so no tweezers in their pocket. So this is going to be, see how already the glass magnifies with the clear?
Why did I do that?
I don't know. Why did you do that?
Does anyone know why I did that?
Well, the percola reeds, we're doing a flat style, so it was fine to have that not there, because then the clear glass would magnify the other side.
What I was going to say too about this, and if you guys have seen glass blowing before, if you haven't, we just did that preheat on the cane in a very traditional manner, and we kept it really tidy until obviously that moment that I just knocked one off of there. But in the end, we were doing that to show you guys what that looks like, and also get Oliver understanding the way to work a pastorelli. But excuse me, for these larger reeds, we're picking these up as a sporadic, really cool predetermined color pattern, and they didn't need to be perfectly symmetrical because we're going to be pulling it out, moving it around, and shaping it up in such a manner.
All right, who out there has watched the show and blown away? That seems to be a hot topic on Netflix right now. The artists that are in the show have 5 hours to create a work of art. They spend 30 minutes, even less on the glass blowing portion, because they've got to do the critique.
Hey, Oliver.
It's funny, I always, before I started working here, I thought that 5 hours was a lot of time, but now seeing everything that goes into it, 5 hours does not seem like enough time.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craziness.
I mean, that's why we did the color ahead of time and just laid it out, because if we did this whole, it'd be a bunch of time.
And we're going to actually pull some cane very similar to this. We're going to do an orange and black style a little bit later in the show here. So if you're interested in how we got to this point where the cane is such, you'll be able to watch that. Pulling cane is one of the most beautiful processes in blowing glass. So I've just asked Oliver to bring over our fluffer torch. This is a really high temperature, large, powerful torch. Right there behind the bench will be perfect. Or you could even take it over here and you could fluff it. But the idea behind this is that we've got this copper on the end of the pipe, so I'd really like to really line up the flame on just the glass here and not worry about overheating the copper building up into the pipe. So Oliver, I'll have you just hit the flame so it's just hitting the glass that's touching the copper and down, and try and stay away from the copper as much as possible.
We've got a hello from Texas from Sandra.
Right there. A little further towards me, right there. Just stay steady right there, and then I can heat up the tip in the hole. Do one more of those. Sorry to cut you off with that power blasting mess.
That's okay. I started talking. I was like, yeah, no, that's loud.
Yeah.
Good. Scott says hello from Florida. Pam from Westland. Tammy from Wyandotte. Beverly says beautiful work from Delaware. Robin says hello, my peeps. Shout out to Robin for putting in some work today.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Did you see that Charlie's from Mexico?
That'll be perfect.
Yes. Yep.
We got glass blowers from Mexico watching us.
I want to go to Mexico so bad. I've been to South America. My Spanish is no good, but Mexico is going
Your
to be...
Spanish isn't going to be any better.
Once I get there and figure it out, it will be. So this is the move. This is the plan for this first style of cane. I'm going to take this, and folks, if you didn't already know, we've got the perps on here. I'm grabbing the very end.
Oliver, can you describe the perps, please?
The perks.
What is the
You can
perps?
Just envision the most beautiful beauty in the world. It'd be the purples.
It's the perps.
So we've got some really, really we have a couple different purples on here. One is a more light lavender color with a bunch of white surrounding it. That's going to make some great contrast for everything that's going on here. And then we also have two shades of really, really deep, transparent purple and another deep purple that has a little tinge of magenta in it.
It's a really good selection Oliver did here. This is my favorite, one of my favorite color canes we have here. This is a historical cane from before my time here at the Glass Academy.
I love that style.
We got to find that color and use it again.
Before your time, is that
that was back in the day.
1902?
So I'm going to go double dunk, and I don't know if this is worth checking out here, but this is going to be a pretty big gather, and it's really precise, too, because I got to not put it too far over the pipe. I only want it up to where the clear is now. That's looking like it's got some unicorn energy.
Do you think that historical canes from the 1900s?
Your mic is not on, Oliver.
Considering the Glass Academy's been around since 2001, I think my answer is yes. Look at this. And I was turning in the correct way while I was in there so that I wasn't untwisting the twist.
How long did it take to figure that out?
About 4 or 5 seconds into the gather, I started turning the other way.
Truth be told.
That is beautiful.
Oh, whoa.
Look at that.
Very nice.
I gotta wrangle it because this thing is reheating that core of purple and it's getting super floppy on me.
Well, you just had the biggest moil in the world.
Big moiler.
Jody says,
Moyle
"Hello
is
from
there."
Prince Edward Island. I'm celebrating 23 years of my career today, and I'm doing it all with you.
Yay!
Let's go.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Man, that vortex is amazing. Now, a lot of those reeds we have over there are two questions. Should I put a little gold on the tip of this?
I think you are legally required to.
Maybe on one side of it, so you could see purple through one side, see the iridescence on the other side.
Yeah.
You're not dipping again, are you?
And by then I'll stick what?
You're not dipping again, are you?
No, I'm
Okay.
not strong enough for that.
You haven't had
Fortunately.
enough of your
Dirty
carrots.
I haven't
towels
had
are.
enough birthday carrot.
Oh. That was a little awkward. You all right going
Yep.
in there?
It's a little weird. What was the other thing we were talking about just a second ago?
Birthday carrots.
Big moil.
Big moil.
Sue says hello from somewhere in the open seas.
Oh,
Sue.
she's watching on the boat. So you
Is she-
probably have like 50 people around you watching the show.
Is
We
she
got it.
lost?
Yeah, she is lost.
That's a good one.
We got a great Facebook page run by our viewers, the Glass Academy Addicts, and I saw an amazing post about Sue being a certified addict a couple of days ago, which was awesome. But my question was, a lot of those are flat reeds over there. This one's got a really beautiful spiral pattern going up the middle of it. Do we want to flatten it or keep it just, real spire-like?
I think the flat's gonna make it, give it some pizzazz.
If we want the pizzazz and we want the mojo, then there's only one thing to do.
Get your purple on there.
No.
We have a meeting. I'm not kidding. We have a meeting before the show. We go over all of this.
Wow, look at that.
So that there are no surprises as we're doing this.
Aren't you glad you did that?
Yeah. I was thinking about all that purple and everything.
So we like to live here on the fly.
On the sides there, you can put a little bit of a dab of purple on the either side if you wanted to still.
That purple?
Yeah. That's purple just for you, dude.
Doesn't look like purple, I know, folks, but I promise you, that is one of the most beautiful and most expensive colors that we have here, and that's because it's made with manganese. But we'll
Hey,
get
is this
more into
box
that later.
for me? Short
Yes.
girl? Now
So
we can
now
have
this is normally in a lot of our products. You saw Oliver helping out at the beginning of this. Many things in every glass shop and every studio everywhere are made with multiple people. You have to work as a team. This particular product, because of the heat of it, is almost just a solo job. And we did a nice color pattern on the beginning there, but now I'm going to need to. It's kind of hard to coordinate to get an elegant shape if you're working with multiple people. I'm trying not to move too fast here.
You're good, you're good.
But the timing's everything in glass. I'm trying to get the right heat on it so it pulls out elegantly.
About how heavy do you think this is right now?
That's about the size of about the weight of
Imagine 4 bowling balls.
yeah.
But
That's about it.
what pound bowling ball?
4 1-pound bowling balls.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
You know how
Oliver, would you tap that end off for me?
your
Yes.
child could weigh 40 pounds, but when they're sleeping in their dead weight, it feels like 80? That's kind of what glass blowing's like. We can say it's 10 pounds, but on the end of a long pole and all of these different elements and the heat and all of that stuff, it's a totally different game. So
Tweezers.
Italian maestros
Comment.
take tweezers and walk
Thanks.
around with their tweezers for that exact reason. You have just a few seconds before it cools off. Oh, look at that twist. And we have to ship it, so remember,
Keep it tight.
keep it tight.
It's going to be for sale as soon as we get it in the box, folks, but I do believe this warmer-upper is only for sale
To members.
for our
Members.
loyalty members.
Which
We're going to
we'll
make
put-
a couple more of these throughout the show that are going to be available to the general public as well.
We'll put things in the chat, but we do have a membership. These are customers who support the Glass Academy. It's not the membership on YouTube, it's our own personal membership.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but Oliver, would you fluffer that tip for me?
Yes,
And I'm
I
going to
will.
get the GA stamp on here.
And this is available to our Loyalty League customers.
Look at that cane. It looks amazing. Wow. That's good. I'm going to take one more heat on it, and then we're going to iridize the gold that I purposefully layered on just one side of it. When I went for those 2 marks, I put the gold on one side, so one side's blinging, the other side's clear with a little bit of purple so you can see that cane action. Might have to fix this tip up a hair more. I want to get it real round and finished and polished and tasty.
So the cool things about Percola reeds, these were garden accents, and we started doing them smaller so you could put them in house plants. But we're here in Michigan, and now it's getting nice outside,
Go for it, Oliver.
and these look amazing in gardens.
You can't take too long on these because the tip is so thin and the bottom closest to me is so thick. I can't take enough heat right now onto the piece to heat up the bottom to where it needs to be safe for a long time without overheating the tip. So I take one final heat there. I'm gonna hold it up as it's stiffening up.
Let that light hit it.
And we're gonna get this off of the pipe and into the box, you guys.
All right, while you do that, I'm gonna get the next thing prepped in.
All right, yes. That's beautiful. Do you know where our pliers are?
Yep, pliers are right here.
Would you look at that?
At the knockoff
Whoa,
station.
At the
that
knockoff
was
station.
Great. The setup
So we're not
for
going to show
success.
you our perfect tech here that we have figured out because this is a glass blower secret.
Because
But
you
now I'm
gotta
going to
have
take this
those.
away and we're going to get it up for sale in a moment.
All right, the Pastorelli was heating up in the garage. That piece of equipment right there is 1,200 degrees or so.
Ba-bam.
So that plate was hot when Oliver sticks it in. If it's not preheated and you go in this oven, the glass will shatter and break. So that was preheated, and he's gonna,
Now we're superheating it.
yeah. So the front thing, let's see if I can point again, right there. That's a piece of steel. The glass is on the other side of that. And you can see the burner's on the left, so it shoots the flame over. The left side will get hotter. That's why we take it out and we spin it around so that the other side can get the same exposure to the heat. Ooh.
Oh, and we're going for read number 2, are we? Aha.
Yeah. Read number 2, buddy.
So this one's going to be an orange one here, and Oliver's prepping up the color. I'm going to get a nice zoom on it.
That was the plan.
Yeah, I guess, the plan is just hard to keep managed.
I understand. There's a little thing, everybody. For those of you who watch the show multiple times, you may know that we eat dinner and discuss the show plan right before, like from 5 to 6.
Yep.
And every day I feel like me and Jake walk away and we're like, we know what's going on, but also we're just completely frazzled.
Yeah, it's true. There's too much going on. That's what glass blowing's all about, everybody. That's looking great. Look at the glow of the Pastorelli there. I'm going to go gather up and get ready to pick this up, and we're going to do our second style.
Take that from you real quick while we let that cool down a little bit.
Let it cool down, and I'm also going to do one of these real quick. Just so we can disconnect it from on the body there. And that's just amazing. Whew. Make sure the bench is all set up for number 2 here.
Yes.
And here we go, folks.
Take a look at all that. So I know right now it might look a little bit more on the red side of things and maybe a little bit brown, but all of that is just some beautiful, like, pumpkin orangeness.
All right, I was going to say, Oliver, just say hello to me for a second, so the voice behind the camera.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who's doing that? You guys, I am your host for the evening. My name is Michelle. We got Beth on tech. She's watching all your comments. This is interactive, so do not feel like you cannot ask a question, because I guarantee if you have it, someone else has it. We don't know if you're new, if you're a glass blower, all questions are welcomed. And even if you're a seasoned regular, your questions are welcomed as well.
Absolutely. Give that back to you. Thank you. Whew. Let me, looking for my thingamabobs. Jake, you think this needs a flip around?
I think you need to flash that again.
Yeah, give it a flip around. It sounds great. So if you want to come check out the furnace over here or see how this is going down.
Yeah, you guys are flashing it once more, right?
Yep, we're going to flash this one more
The
time.
plate is heated, so that's keeping those cane warm, but it's still a good idea to flash it.
So you pretty much just dunk the glass out of there like it's molten lava. And if you guys hadn't already noticed, our recycle furnace is back up and running. And that was a long time coming. We had an issue with our blower, so we were down to one furnace, which is how most shops run. However, we do plan financially to have a second furnace that runs 365 days a year, and that's to avoid throwing away about 30% of everything you pull out of the furnace becomes scrap glass. It's the way glass blowing works. It's how you got to get to where you're going. It's a means to an end. And we use that 30% and reuse it for multiple different places and processes. I think that's going to be perfect,
You know,
Oliver.
I'd add to that. When Jake said most glass studios, you guys, there's hundreds of studios. Some are production studio, which makes they make items that show up in a gallery. Some are private studios. Some are teaching studios. Some, perhaps the guy in Mexico who's blowing
Take those
glass. There
tweezers
might
from
be
you.
many, many
You're done.
furnaces. So it all there's
What
lots
does
of
it
different
do?
techniques. I don't know. I was going to say evaluate, and that wasn't right.
Balances out,
Validates? I don't know.
coming in hot.
Now, are you going to do this just on one side? Because that was my thought process, that because it's flat. But you had a different thought process.
I'm really just doing what they call a live show
On the fly.
on the fly.
So
live
the other thing.
show, live decisions.
This one can be on one side, and what I was thinking, what we were talking about a little bit before, once Oliver gets that away, if you'd want to grab a gather, and we'll do some different color bits on either side of this clear.
So where Oliver put that
Just about
plate,
the same diameter as this clear on either side.
Okay.
Oliver put that plate away somewhere that we're not going to walk into it by accident. Because that's how people always say in a glass shop, do you burn yourself? That's how you burn yourself. It's usually off the equipment when you're
Coming
not
right
paying
behind
attention.
you. Just gonna get a little flashy poo. And then you want the beautiful orange, or you want the gold, 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 give me gold.
I think one of those, an aventurine, would be amazing, and then one transparent orange would be amazing. Probably 2 coats of both when you do each one of them.
So a little bit of gold.
I'd say
with
let's do
gold
gold first, 2 coats of aventurine,
on. Okay.
and then on the next fresh one, we'll do 2 coats of saffron.
You got
Michelle, did you explain kind of the loyalty league a little bit and why people aren't going to have an option, or the general public doesn't have an option to purchase that first one?
I
So
did
we're all
not,
on the
but
same
I can.
page.
All right, so Loyalty League. We have supporters who have bought many products from the Glass Academy. They still want to be involved and enjoy the process. They just don't need any glass for their home, or maybe they just don't want to buy as much. So we created a membership program where they get additional perks. They get a Facebook group, a lot of behind the scenes content, interviews, different things that we don't normally do on our Facebook page.
That's
and
perfect.
they get first choice to the warm-up piece of the show.
Yeah.
And these are usually pieces that we're trying a new technique, or there's something
Yep.
special about them. And Bess will post that data, the link somewhere on the show tonight.
Yeah, you can become a member. It's a brand new membership, and it's honestly going really well. People are really enjoying it. But we thought that was a cool perk, as the warmer-upper typically is something a little bit experimental. We thought it was going to be that first piece we did. We thought it was going to be that first piece we did with the copper wire, but that didn't quite work out like we expected. And that's the beauty of doing a live show. And so then we transferred it into our next piece that was planned for the show.
So the next thing is we have a Star Supporter. That one is $8 a month. And if you'd like to shop at the Glass Academy, I guarantee the coupon that comes with that membership, you'll save your first 2 months in just your discount from joining that one. So they're not YouTube memberships, they're our own personal memberships. And we'll have that link in the chat.
So the plan for this one, I'll show you at the bench so I can hold it a little steadier, is we've got this beautiful sparkling, call it aventurine color here. Super metallic, beautiful color. There's clear in the middle to make sure you can see the cane. These are all going to be bright orange canes. They're going to look different while it's hot. But then we're going to put also a transparent orange here so that there's going to be a window to see inside, but also multiple different colors.
You
That's
want
fine.
more than 2 coats because you're stretching it out pretty far.
Sure, one extra coat sounds good.
I didn't want
love
to interrupt you, but I was.
the optics that happen with clear glass and color behind it. Like that
Oh, yeah.
pattern was really cool.
Yeah, and so the last one had the purple and the gold on the outside, so there was a little bit of texture. You could see the spottiness of the color. This is going to be more of a glassy look looking inside, and I think we'll probably keep it completely crystal once we gather over this, and then stretch it out, and we'll see what that looks like. It's a little bit experimental here on the show, but ideally, everything is staying, everything's going to turn out okay, and that's kind of how we do it.
All right.
Everything will be okay. I'm standing in Oliver's way, but I want to give you guys front row access.
It is 6:30, so the table is live.
Thanks for the reminder,
The
Beth.
table's live.
Oh, it's
alive.
Where
Well,
is
this
it?
is
What's
going
it
to
gonna
take a
do?
hot minute to heat up, so can I go to the
I'm
table?
going to take probably at least a minute to just soak this heat in, so you got plenty of time.
All right,
We
we're
got
going to
some
talk
really
about
cool
the Wheel of
products.
Shenanigans, because we got some cool ideas coming up with that. You're watching show 2, number 259. It's called The Gathering Point. Family owned and operated. On the pipe, we got Jake and Oliver. Michelle and Bess on the mic. Tech support Bess. And I am Michelle. There's our list for tonight. And we'll talk about the question later, but some cool stuff. You might be following us and know about Matt. Matt is one of the guys that works here, and he also does some torch work. So this is his rooster with bunny ears. Every week we feature 12 items that we sell on the show. This is how we make our living, so deal with us. If you're glass blowers, this is a way we reach a bigger community. You don't have to live local. You can live in California or Mexico or anywhere you want and still enjoy the Glass Academy products. All right, these are what we call percola reeds. Super cool. This is what they put the lines in the glass, and it makes this like swirly up thing. This is the Adventuring Gold. We've got a red, white, and blue here. Got an orange speckle. And look at that. So beautiful. Gold on one side, sparkly, yellow on the other.
It's my favorite shape by far. Look how elegant that blue one is.
What I like about them
So
too,
nice.
I was picking for color, but you can see how when they fit inside one another. Yes, you want to say something, Jake?
I'm ready. Just don't want you guys to miss out on any hot glass action. I've heated this up and not completely squish it together, but just enough that there's going to be no bubbles trapped in here. We want it to be completely glassy and complete.
Are
It's
bubbles
nice and
bad?
solid. No, but it does mess with the optics, and these cane are really going to be the focal point of this one. I'm not going to put a ribbage in it. That's not what frogs do. That's what we do with these reeds. I'm just simply going to flatten it and pull it out and extendicize it. Now this thing just got, I thought it was ice cold, but geez, it got floppy on me quick. But that's a good thing. As long as I can control it, it's going to turn out a more natural, beautiful situation.
Oliver, we got any questions people are asking?
I didn't see too many questions at the moment. I saw a lot of people just talking about how Jake's freestyling.
Yeah.
Talking about the last color pattern here.
It's a freestyle. It's not just me. We all did talk about it before the show. We put some serious thought into these shows.
I like the square idea.
Yeah, I was thinking if, Oliver, would you throw that tag up on there for me?
I could throw a tag.
Does everybody know what a tag is?
It's a graffiti thing, right?
No, it's the game you play with your friends.
Oh.
But bum.
And then how about a pair of tweezers also, if you wouldn't mind?
Jeez, you just want all the tools, man. You're so picky.
Help a brother out. So this one's got no indentation. It's not going to be a ribbon. This is just going to be a square, a rectangular.
So if you were to hand it to Oliver and he was standing on the bench, would that be easier?
I don't really know what would happen if that happened, honestly. Don't have any idea.
I might just fall right
'cause
over.
you could just pull it straight down.
But the problem is, I'm going to start pulling it right now, but I already know, you can tell, look at the bottom's too thick. I got to do one of these.
Aha.
Pull it from the opposite side.
Well, in
And
that case, you'd have like a step stool.
And we transfer it, throw it back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh my God, this is going to be sweet. It's a big boy too. She's a honker. And just so you guys know, these can go in your garden all year long, and you want them to, because when the snow hits the ground, that's when they look the tastiest.
And if you're in Florida,
And you're done.
when the sun shines on them,
I would like to say that with these style of reeds, I've noticed that this takes a lot of physical energy. It's a lot of weight you're dealing with, a lot of master glass that you have like just away from your body. It's also a lot of brain power that Jake's using about thinking about where the heat's at. Ready for the tap?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Oh my
How
God,
he
it
wants
looks
it to
sweet.
bend.
do you have the tweezers in your pocket for the roll-up?
No,
No, but he's got tweezers right here,
I'm taking it to thine bench.
and you
All
have
right.
tweezers at the bench.
This is maxing out the situation here. This is beautiful. I love the rectangular situation.
Give me a little countdown when you're going to the bench.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Ah, my ankle.
Wow. Aventurine looks amazing in there.
That is such a classic. Classic.
That is a classic, incredible, ridiculous situation.
Yeah, and even let it bend a little more.
I'll take a heat on it and let it fall down so it's
Yeah.
more on center, you're saying?
Yeah, and just so it's more swoopy and not like I'm straight and then I got a curl.
You got it.
The other thing about doing this is kind of
Wow.
fun is that a lot of times when someone's working the bench, to be able to have someone else reheat, it gives you another perspective to look at the piece. And make
I'm
sure
still
it's doing
figuring
what you
out how
want.
these copper rods work, though, as well. So it's like,
Yeah, do you see what I'm like? This bend is nice
I know
too.
exactly what you mean.
The nice part is too, he doesn't have to worry about the neckline because the way that we've invented this.
There's zero waste in this product. It's all on the copper.
I think zero waste is like your favorite word.
Well, as long as it's not anything to do with priority waste. And anybody who's local knows that the Red Wings, our favorite hockey team and our favorite sports team around these parts, just had their jersey tarnished by the local waste removal company, and we've gone 7-1, 1-7 since then.
What does that mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
We
Waste
sold an
management?
advertisement for our jersey for the first time in history and lost 7 games in a row. We're about to fall out of the playoff run because of it.
And
in
you
my
guys
opinion.
are equating that selling of the ad.
I am, and many other people are.
Interesting.
But we'll move on from that because this is out of control. I think it's the nicest read we might have made all year, and the color pattern was a great idea.
You know what? Employees can't buy the stuff that goes for sale.
That's right. This is for the people.
This is like the second, third show in a row where you've said something like
It's
that.
true.
Michelle.
We're on a roll.
I did some editing on one of the pieces, and it was the cup that you were talking about, Oliver, that you wanted.
I'm going to
like,
get
what
this
was
into
the
the
irony
box
of that?
and get it safe and sound before anything treacherous happens. And if you guys don't know about the box,
I'm
box
gonna
is
meet them
the
over
annealing
there.
oven. You want to tell them about it, Mom?
Yep, the annealing oven is where we cool the glass off. And I thought he was going to the one over there, but of course it's the one on the other end of the shop. That sits at 900 degrees right now, and overnight it will cool very slowly.
Number 1 read of the year right there.
Woo-wee.
That one's going to be for sale, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's get over to the action again. We're not going to really pause too much. We got the show lined up really well. Did you mention to talk about the giveaway portion and how
No, you want to go grab the clipboard? Or not the clipboard, the
the wheel?
question? Yeah, we can talk about the wheel or the question for the giveaway.
I did want to remove a layer of clothing real quick first. Because
All right.
that was a lot more energy
two
than I was
things.
expecting.
We need your help. See how I have the word veteran? That's still not spelled right. Is it? Looks weird. And pets. This is going to be our wheel of charity. And tonight we need you, see all these empty slots? We need them filled in. So in the chat, if you guys have a charity that you donate to, we're looking for categories. So we got pets and veterans. What's another category? Like medical, breast cancer. What's another donation? The arts, theater. What can we fill these slots in tonight? So then we're going to have, when we do the Wheel of Charity, we're going to have it land on a specific thing, and say it lands on pets. We will have a charity chosen, and we will donate that evening. So this is a new concept, and here are the empty slots. So you can email us, or you can put in the chat. I know many of you guys donate items, so who do you donate to? What causes are you in? Environmental causes, and we will write those on the wheel as we get them. Are you lost, confused?
I am.
Greens.
Greens are a no-go typically for reeds because they get lost in your
the
plants.
garden. Unless you're in like
So we had a
Arizona.
third color tech we wanted to try. We got so engulfed in what just happened on that last one that we didn't even use it. So this is going to be for something different. We're actually going to pull some cane with this and make the cane we were just using, a very similar one with orange and black. And if we have time, we'll come back to another reed after that. But we do have a custom order after this. Let's get that in the box, and we'll go from there.
So this is cane pulling next.
This is cane pulling.
Okay, so those, do you have any samples of cane out?
Yeah, I could show these guys a box over here.
All right, I will follow you.
How many of you guys have seen us pull cane on the show before? Let us know in the chat.
They've never seen us pull cane.
It's a rare thing because it can go sour very fast, but we're feeling like we got the mojo today. And the reason we use cane like we just did was because these colors inside of here, this was pulled probably 30 feet long and then chopped down to size. And all the colors on the interior here come from these really dense bar of color. That's actually what Oliver is shaping up right over here. He's got a large chunk of orange, but it's a very time-consuming process. That's why he got started right away, because it's not just like taking this green and throwing a quick layer on the outside. It needs to be dense. It needs to stay powerful and strong on the inside. You heat it up from the outside in, and then you've got to pull it the whole length. So it needs to be a really dense amount of color. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to slowly build up a pattern on the inside that we'll be able to pull and twist for a good while.
Okay, so look at the two in my hands. The one on the right is a lot thicker. The left is a little thinner. Ultimately, you want pieces that are the same thickness. And this ladder here is how we stretch the glass out. Oftentimes, like this, they end up two different thicknesses. So to do that, use the reed and use different thicknesses just a minute ago was totally fine. We have other products that we make from when they're not the correct thickness. All depends on what you're making.
Now we got two nice ladders out over there. I'm going to get a third one and a fourth one just in case, because we don't know how big it's going to get, and if we run out of room over here, we're going to be bumming.
All right, how many people watched Blown Away? This is a glass-blowing reality show that was on Netflix. One of the participants was known for pulling cane, but it does take a hot minute to pull it. And we have a 2-hour show tonight, so will we get to it all? One never knows. There's some purple reeds that we made coming out of the plant.
Rogue.
That froze when we had a cold snap here in Michigan.
Michelle.
I love how they like call me back. Over here.
This is where the hot action is.
1, we got some hot action here. 2, I'm about to have some Jake slander. Because he said, Oliver, we're going to do just, a short cane pull today. And now that we're ready for it, he's pulling out twice as much ladder.
I know.
Like he wants to do a full-blown biggin.
Why are you putting color right on the pipe?
So that it sticks right to it.
That's like a waste of color.
Well, there's multiple other reasons, including the timing and the elegance of this show that were the reason that I did this.
Got it. Typically, color's super expensive, and you don't put it right on the pipe because it'll always be scrap.
There's also a certain amount of color that needs to be stuck directly to the pipe or as close as possible to it because particularly orange is a super stiff color. And if I didn't have some touching the pipe here, you'd go to pull the cane and perhaps the clear would want to pull out as a softer color right off the end of the pipe instead of sticking to the pipe and pulling with the cane. Amongst about 4 other reasons.
Morna's got a question for you about pulling cane.
Who does?
Morna. Morna says, how do you cut down the cane into smaller pieces without it shattering every time you cut it?
We're going to show you.
Yes.
Some of it has to do with thickness. Some has to do with tile nippers. But for the most part, because the cane is thinner, tile nippers or the tweezers can cut it without the whole thing exploding. Now, some of the thicker pieces of cane, they should be annealed to snip them. But we're going to show you after we stretch it out, because immediately after they stretch it, they chop it up.
Exactly. But looks like Bess is loading up some different charities, which is super
Yay!
cool. I think we said which item was going to be a portion of charity, or how are we doing it?
No, today we're just concepting out the idea.
Got it.
So,
Big
because like for
conceptor.
example of the pet category, we want to research which foundation we want to donate to. We want these to be national foundations, not just local here in our community. Because you guys are from everywhere, you're from around the world, so think big. What type of charity do we want? Now see the little schmeg on the glass? As Oliver heats that up, he will take a pair of tweezers and cut off whatever that weirdness is.
Yes.
Because sometimes weirdness happens in color.
That was actually the tag.
The label?
Yeah, and I kind of just, sometimes I'm kind of like,
I know, but sometimes it matters, so
Yeah.
you decide. I mean, that's pretty heavy duty looking.
let's see how it looks after a couple more heats. If it's still there, we'll
You would
handle
think
it.
the glue would burn off at 2,400 degrees.
This is a great example of the color orange. You guys saw that orange cane. Maybe did you see that orange cane that we were beginning with? This is bright orange. This is pumpkin orange right
Like
here.
your shirt almost.
Yeah. And because it's hot, it's still like 1,500 degrees right now. It's not showing its true color. And oranges really don't show their true color until they're really cooled down, like talking about like below 1,000 degrees, which we don't ever see it below 1,000 degrees. Those reeds are over there sitting at 1,000 degrees, and we won't see those till tomorrow morning. So if you bring that as just like a nice straight trail, I'm gonna do one line down the middle and transfer it over down the middle on the opposite side. So we'll
Okay.
have orange on the outside of the band and black line down the middle of each band.
I learned something today from the tech guy that the size of a phone in a horizontal position is the same as a movie screen, just shrunken.
Is the same as the
Dimensions.
because we're accustomed to that as human beings. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What is
We're-
that, like the golden ratio?
Yes.
Wow.
So we were working on some AI stuff. I want to be able to take pictures of us blowing glass and turn us into cartoons. And he was showing me how.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be the one?
Could be the one. Do you want it to be the one?
Yeah, just go deeper with it and just get the whole thing ripping and I'll handle it.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I know we've talked about Blown Away a little bit. Just as a reminder, there are multiple people in the chat who have said they have not finished watching it, so
Oh.
please don't give any spoilers.
No
No
spoilers.
spoilers.
Represent Dearborn though.
There is one contestant that was from our local area down the street, been to our hop shop. He blows glass where I started blowing glass.
That was just perfect, Oliver.
Perfect.
Well, thank you. You want me to pull out that last little bit
You
there?
could totally make that into a stringer. That is prime snowman coal right there.
What color? So that was black?
Black. So the tricky thing, and I won't say I'm no pro at pulling cane by any means. It's going to take my whole life to be a pro at pulling cane because each color melts at different temperatures. You have to have your heat perfectly even between the entire situation that you're working on because you're twisting it, and if one side's thicker, one side's hotter, one side's colder, then it's going to pull out completely uneven. This is all preparatory what I'm doing right now. I'm going to gather twice over top of this with clear to encase it.
Now, Jake talked about bubbles earlier. When he dips for this clear piece, he's got to go in real slow and steady and not turn right away. Yep, just like an arrow. That way he doesn't trap a bubble until he's completely in the clear. And then once he's got the whole dip in, then he can start turning it.
It does kind of look like an arrow or like a spear. All right, well, here we go. It's a tough one to see. We ask that you guys go to your local glass shop and take a glass blowing class to see this visual in person because it really is a beautiful thing seeing inside a furnace with molten magma.
We got a good angle. You can go back later and look
You
at
saw
the
it?
show. Heck yeah.
Nice.
Have you no faith in ye filming ability?
I've got faith, but I just know it's taken us 259 shows to do that move, so.
Well, when we
Well
used to
done.
have the camera on a moving tripod, it wasn't an option. But now we got so much tech going on. Shout out to Bess. Look at what she's managing over here. Calm, cool, and collected, because
Always.
sometimes the stuff crashes. Shout out to Sam if she's watching, who helped us really navigate through a lot of that. Sam's a gamer, and after being with her for a bit, I've gained more skill in trying things with tech. Because she's like, what does this button do? What does this do? What happens if you poke here?
Gotta test it. So the goal is to get that color to the outer edge as much as possible. I probably could have waited a little bit longer and not gone in so hot, but it's really hard to know, and you wait down an extra 2 minutes and then all of a sudden a big chunk of the orange will pop off the side. So I'd rather have it a little bit on the warm side, especially for the show here, a little bit on the cold side and have it pop off and have to restart the whole process. But I've got my first layer.
Right, so are you gathering on top of this?
I'm gonna gather one more thin layer of clear on top of this, and then we're gonna start building up the heat.
Who remembers, I think they were called cat's eyes, the marbles. If you guys had glass marbles as a kid, right now it looks like a cat's eye. Where it was 2 layers of color inside a round marble.
So now we can use our industrial fan to cool it down a little bit.
Julie says, what is the cane for?
This cane in particular actually is for a cane pumpkin custom order that we've gotten. And we make pumpkins all year long. We specialize in a lot of specialty styles of pumpkins, in particular a pumpkin that has cane, just like we've been using tonight, on the ribs all the way around. It's a really high-end pumpkin. It's one of our most expensive pumpkins. And I got a custom order a couple weeks ago. Got payment came in a couple days ago, about a week ago, and we're gonna make this.
That's pretty cool. They were thinking ahead, because come pumpkin season, we're like,
Yeah.
no, too many orders, can't do it.
That's a great time because we can really focus on it now. Look at that little bit just cracked right there. That's all on the pipe, so that doesn't matter. It's okay, but important to notice.
Are you using the drill?
Nah.
Okay, just asking.
And Oliver, once I take my first heat, you could probably go for the post. It doesn't need to be any bigger than that.
Yeah. And I'm just leaving it all on the pipe.
Yep.
Pretty big moil.
It's going to be the size of like, I mean, it doesn't need to be any bigger than like that big of a gather. One big gather on a counterweight.
Okay.
And just drip it right on the table.
Well, I can't just drip it on the table. I got to leave it on the pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
You got any more questions for us, Bess?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I hope they had a great St. Patty's Day. Anything crazy went on during St. Patty's Day, let us know in the chat.
We do have a viewer from Ireland or Northern Ireland right now.
All right.
We had a customer at the show that was from Ireland. I wonder if it's him. He
This
said
one's
that
a she, so.
Oh, maybe he told someone in his family because he's like, I'm from Ireland and there used to be a glass shop there and I'd buy all my stuff. And then he bought some cactuses.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have cactus in Ireland.
Beautiful.
And now I'm just going to let it go
You can
vertical
take a
with
second
it.
so it doesn't get too flat and thin. Just hold on and then just go vertical with it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The timing of this is super important. I've got a cold core, and so I'm slowly building back up the heat while keeping the symmetry of this piece. And I'm going to keep shaping it up. I'll probably go for 3 more shapes. And then by that time, the piece Oliver has is going to be perfectly stiff and no longer moving. And we'll be able to stick the pipes together and pull this out to a nice long cane. And keep in mind, this is a pretty small cane. We really didn't want to get too radical. We don't use a lot of orange and black cane.
So the other thing, typically in a glass studio, when you've got projects coming on, you
That's
set up
just
big
beautiful.
hunks of time. So if you're pulling cane, you're going to pull cane all day.
Get in the rhythm.
If you're going to pull Marini eyes, you're just doing Marini eyes. You don't break up your day making one thing, then another thing. And also the pipe, Oliver's pipe, sometimes you cool it so that Jake can really get leverage when he attaches the post on.
It's a great idea.
Not a lot going on in the chat right now, and I think it's because everybody is very intently watching
I
on what's
know.
going on.
Like, don't miss this.
Dawn is here. Dawn says hello.
Will you
Hello,
roll that over here so I
hello.
can cool my pipe too?
Yeah.
And then we'll grab a towel too right next to it so we can wipe it off because we're both going to need some pretty good traction here. And probably one more heat and I'll be ready to roll.
Icarus says it was my brother's birthday on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Very cool.
My birthday was the day before. That's a great time to have birthdays, folks. I'll tell you that. Everyone's already in the hanging out spirit. Thank you, Oliver.
When we built our glass shop, we had access to a lot of steel, so a lot of things we do are overbuilt. People have like rubber buckets and all that stuff, but not us. Everything is made of steel.
Never gets burned, never goes away.
You can see how hot that pipe was.
Thank you.
Oliver will also chill his pipe
Thank
because
you very
Jake's
much.
hands have to really choke up on the pipe.
Laura says, FYI, cacti and succulents are not native to Ireland.
I would assume.
Yeah. I would be
I'm going to do one
surprised
more
if they
Marlboro and
were.
then we'll go for it.
Pam says they have palm
You give that
trees
a
in
quick flash when
Ireland.
you're done.
Palm trees? So really, interesting.
All
I have
right,
not been
folks.
to Ireland.
I have not. It's on my bucket list, though.
How did that term ever come about? Bucket list. Throw it in the bucket.
I'm going to give it a
It's your
Marlboro, a
list you have to
donkey
make
poo.
before you kick the bucket.
That's what it is.
Cindy says, hello from Perth, Scotland.
Ooh, nice. I love the international
Where do you
folk
want
on
me, buddy?
here.
Just right.
You can
Yep,
see what us
perfect.
crazy Americans do.
Then I'm going to walk it that way and hand it to you right there.
Okay.
I might have some of my trainees from my full-time job watching. We
Seriously?
got on the topic of our live show yesterday and this morning, so shout out Lori if you're watching.
Bess's other life.
My other life.
There's no other man in her life. It's just the
It's like I
Glass
have an alter
Academy.
ego because I'm Bess here, but I'm Bethany there.
Oh, yeah?
So
All right.
I love
Take it
watching
slow.
this.
This is where, oh, do you want an Instagram? This is where their hands will start to hurt. jump rope.
Oh, yeah. Would you look at that, folks? You can set that back down. I'll pull.
Okay.
Just work it slow and steady. That was
Slow
not really
and
the
steady.
side we wanted. You could probably just hold it and I'll pull. That was not the side we wanted to be pulling the glass from, honestly. I probably could have dunked it in the water more.
Well,
or
that's what I'm
something.
saying. This is not like a one-off. You don't just hang
Yeah.
out all day and just do this. After you do about 5 pulls,
Yeah, it's
It's
really
where
honestly
you-
just a really bad pull, but
And we only needed 2 ladders.
yeah,
Ah!
that's true. Well, if it was a good pull, we would have needed 4, but I
That's
did it to
fair.
myself
That's
there.
fair.
That just breaks with a quick touch of the tweezers. And I mean, the twist is really beautiful here.
There's a good section of it.
And it's
Yeah,
gonna be
I
bright
mean-
orange, but
you guys, that's the reality.
when it comes to glass terms and being real with you guys and
Take that from
doing
you.
our live show like we do it, thanks Oliver. We could dunk that, show them the cut. Well, no, because it's encased. They won't see it.
Or
Yeah.
make a
It was
percola
not.
read? No.
A successful pull, but it will turn out great. It will work for what we need. There's just going to be a little extra waste glass than I would have liked.
Yeah, but this thick stuff too, we can anneal this thick stuff and do something else with it. That's probably about an inch thick.
So all I'll say about that, just like we do when we're at the Renaissance Festival, when we're here, when we're streaming, is if you guys think that we're doing an okay job, even though it wasn't how we planned it, put a like in the comments or say something nice or share the feed or send us some love because we love doing it anyway. You got to be able to get past the frustration.
Real quick before we get into the next thing, I heard Beth say
Need
their
water.
name earlier. I heard Icarus was in the chat.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been seeing your posts on Instagram about the practice work that you've been doing in other studios and stuff like that. It's coming along super nice. I just want to let you know I've been seeing it and I'm enjoying seeing the progression.
Woo! All right, we'll do a touch of housekeeping. I see Bess has been filling in some names. Musical arts and school programs, food insecurity. You guys, these are great ones. First responders, women, child domestic abuse, pets and service animals, homelessness, mental health, medical research. These are great ones. Absolutely great. We've got 1, 2, 3 empty slots. So if you haven't heard a place that you'd like to donate to, get us a category so we can research some companies and get some things up there. Okay. Tonight's question, there's the Michigan room with a shiny floor. We're going to be starting to book out event spaces later this summer. But tonight's question, how does our glass creation inspire you to try new things? Did we just inspire you by stretching that glass out? Did you look at it and go, oh, I could do this. I could do that.
Just be creative in everything you do. Doesn't have to be artwork. Be creative in any way.
Yeah, that is even like a pretzel or like 2 types of cookie colors. You could swirl them up and make a twist cookie.
Just makes you feel good when you're done with it. Promise you that.
And then you get to eat it.
Did you tell them a little bit about Matt's deal here?
No, go for it. I did, but
You guys
tell
have
us
all
more.
seen, or maybe if you're new to the show, you haven't seen, but this is Matt. He started blowing glass here at the studio about a couple years ago now. Time is flying. He's done these projects at his home studio, torch working. He mentioned that the customer asked for one of these specifically, and he made it, and he was so proud, as he often does. He comes into the studio on work days and shows off his new products, things he's made, and his growth outside of the studio. And Michelle saw him and said, we're going to have to probably see a couple of those in the gallery here. So he went into production mode and made about 5 different ones, different styles, different colors for you guys and for the folks here in the gallery. And if you like seeing Matt grow, his craftsmanship skills and his ability to produce his own work outside of the studio, this is where you're going to see it right here, and he's doing an amazing job. So we haven't featured any of Matt's work before on the show. It's a great opportunity to support him as well through the Glass Academy, and I suggest taking a look at those on the website.
very cool. And I think next week we're going to be featuring Oliver.
this may be the case.
He doesn't know it yet. I hope
What?
he didn't hear me.
Something about a redhead?
Something about something.
Something about next year, maybe
So-
next week, maybe you.
I think now we have a custom order.
I think we better get after that custom order because this custom order has
Multiple parts.
bent our brain a little bit, I think.
It's going to be a funky one. We're going to do a move that Oliver, another one here tonight that Oliver's never done before. We're going to have to talk it out a little bit before the piece happens here. And that is what?
Why don't
Just
you guys
welcome
talk
to
it
the
out? I'm
gathering
going to go look at
point.
the piece over there.
Where you get to see me do things I've never done before.
Yeah, and it'll work out just right. But I'm going to draw it up so everyone knows, and you as well, Oliver, what the plan is, and we can all be on the same page.
All right.
This was last week's startup piece. Still hanging around. We did not anneal it, so it's just kind of there. All right, Jake's drawing an out for Oliver and you guys, so back to the action. We do drinking horns. We do a Renaissance show, and that's in the fall. And because of that, we've done drinking horns for many years. Sometimes the Renaissance customers order them early so they can attach them to their clothing and have the garb all set up. This particular one is an employee who is buying wedding gifts for her family.
Amy.
They are something that she's thought about for a long time, and she gave them the go-ahead.
We
plus
get their name?
Artistic discretion, 30%.
Amy is in the chat watching. She's been commenting.
Well, if Amy can comment what the heck this eloped couple's names are, we'd like to dedicate this custom wedding piece set to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that.
So the idea is that we're going to have, and this may just have to be an optic twister, but we're going to take a look at it and figure that out on the fly. The tricky part that Oliver's never done before is this is going to be a wedding ring here. A wedding ring. It's going to be out of glass. It's going to be on the piece. It's going to be functional. They could hang the piece from it, but it's also just representative of these two wedding pieces. So it's going to be a double shot glass drinking horn with a handle, and this is going to be the funky one that we're going to be wrapping around. I'll be making the bit, wrapping it around this rod, cutting it, and then you'll be torching the area, and I'll come over here with the tweezers and stick it onto the piece, and then you'll take a flash with it.
Okay.
And after you cut it on that rod, remember that it likes to slide around.
It's super slippery, you're
It's
right.
super slippery.
And then you got to get the cut mark down too, so
Yep.
we're going to have to just figure it out.
Just
Okay.
take your time. I like to mention these things sometimes only because it gets you thinking about it before you do it,
Granny?
right? So if you know that a small piece of glass, it's going to be like this was dipped in oil because it will be so slippery on this. There's no burrs on this. It's all the same size. So once they cut it, if they hold it at a downward angle, it's going to slide right off. If they hold it slightly up, it will come back and hit them where their hand is on it. I mean, you could hold it like this, but I'm telling you, it's like a nice thing to practice because it will have a life of its own once it's on there.
Love that.
Pammy says, I performed at a St. Patrick's Day concert, dressed in green and sprayed my hair green. My son said, Mom, you've gone moldy.
That's good.
That's amazing.
Jake, do you
What a
want that
champion.
right now, essentially?
And then she also said, I love putting swirls in my cheesecake with blueberry or raspberry coulis. Always think of the twisted glass when I do it.
That's cool. There's a lot of cooking things that relate. I love that. Like jelly rolls. Very cool.
Amy says, Sam and Bridget.
Sam and Bridget, congratulations on your marriage. We've got two incredible colors, a couple of our favorite colors here. We've said that over the past couple shows a couple times now. We've been using it a lot.
What's fun too is Sam and Bridget, once they get presented with this gift, can go back and watch this.
Yeah, forever. Show number
Forever.
259. And we're going to sign them as we do. Those reeds are going to be signed with TGP, the Gathering Point 259. And it totally goes down in history. It stays on the FB and the YB for as long as social media runs this world.
I have
YB?
never heard someone
The YB.
abbreviate stuff
What is
so
it?
much.
It's-
You know, the mixture of the two. What was that, Mom?
I've never seen people abbreviate stuff so much.
I only do it because I feel like there's a robotic, algorithmic person out there that's analyzing what's going on.
You think it's
Yeah,
Jarvis?
I agree.
We got Jarvis in the chat right now.
I think Jarvis is looking at us and making sure that we got the camera right on what's going on here.
You got the camera right on it. But my computer is going to run out of juice. Could you film for a sec? You know how to zoom in.
Got like
That looks
5
beautiful.
coats on there.
He said he put about 100 coats on here, which means that this is going to be dense and powerful. And since you're not going to see these true colors while we're working on it, we'll tell you right off the bat. Let's just take it like that. We've got a beautiful cranberry.
Whoa.
Pink.
Whoa.
Check that out, folks. Ooh, thanks for the close-up, Bess. Bam. Nice bit, Oliver.
Thanks. I
Man,
made that
that's
one
cool
for
looking.
Sam.
This looks like something that belongs at some kind of ray gun. Looks like some sort of charging power-up device. But it's going to be cranberry. It's a beautiful transparent pink, and then we've got a bright opaque granny apple green on top of it. And now comes the part of shaping it into a horn. And the difficult thing about these is that they're not symmetrical.
I don't know. I think we're going to have to do a show on worms. Is Dune out? That looks so cool.
Dune is out.
Granny apple green is one of my favorite colors in here.
Is it your color of your shirt, pretty much, what'd you say?
Pretty much.
Almost that sticker that's in the...
Well, I think cranberry is on the top of the list for both Oliver and I, so I think we got about everyone's favorite colors going into this piece.
That's a top of the list for me, you, and Matt.
Pretty much all the glass people around these parts.
Just want cranberry. Are you a big cranberry juice person?
I'll eat cranberry juice from time to time, but I'd rather have some sort of cranberry Thanksgiving
Like
goo.
sauce?
Oh, let's put that in the chat. Do you guys eat that cranberry stuff that comes in a can?
I do not eat the canned cranberry. I do,
Neither.
however, eat the nice homemade cranberry.
100% Bess, I'm coming to your house.
What if we eat both?
That jellied can
There's no
stuff.
judgment.
There's no what?
There's no judgment. I just don't like the
Texture.
cranberry jelly in a can.
For me, it's texture.
I think
is a texture
by
thing for me.
nature, when something's in a can and you say you don't like it, it just kind of is judgy, you know? There's no way around it.
Huh,
That's
you
like if
think?
someone said they love Spam. I
Hey,
looked at him
Spam's
and
got
said,
its time and place.
Yeah, it does. Fried spam.
It does?
It does.
Spam is so popular in Hawaii.
so popular.
Um,
Now that we've thrown Jake for a total loop, he's like,
I'm just
"What?"
going to stay focused on what I'm doing here.
Yeah, just think about Hawaii. Who knows? Maybe that's Sam and Bridget honeymoon location.
All right, it's about to get real weird in my brain, which is taking this and putting it off center onto another pipe. That is a really cool looking shape, though.
Yeah, that's where Jake needs to concentrate.
So let's do, you know what, actually? We're going to do a,
I'm gonna bring you a punny now. Instead of being like round, I'm giving you like a flat on it, right?
nah, we're going to do a clear ball right here first.
Okay.
When glass is not on its
Pinky size.
It'll be like a
Access?
Maurice, and then you can turn that into the punny, and it should be a regular size punny. You'll be fine.
You
Regular
got it.
shaped punny.
It's really hard to think. There was some blown away contestants that struggled for a minute because this is like it's easy to work on the axis. It's like someone who's throwing a ceramic pot on a wheel. Ask him to do it crooked. Colors
I'm
are
gonna
popping
get real
through.
detailed here.
Small bit of glass. Step out of the way of the torch.
Just want to get that cut mark out of there. And I'm going to do 4 little
So you can see how when you do something repetitive,
Roses.
like the gnome beards, it gave Jake a real sense of like, oh, I could do this decorative element here. It would look really good. That's what you saw just take place.
Now, that's a decorative element, but that also serves a serious function, which is what allows me to put this extra pipe that we're going to break it off on center with the majority of the piece without sitting the whole side of the pipe on the bubble. Really, unless you really have a thick bottom, this piece is almost impossible without
Am I going like this? You want me
a
up?
little less, right there, like 30%, yeah.
This is the thing that's interesting. We used to do the punties on the side too.
Is that on there okay?
It's only doing a bunch of them
Push
that
a
you
little
can
bit.
figure out how to do this. Everyone's got a
Good.
different technique.
You can drop it down a little bit.
See, now it's almost level, so that's good. Now, Jake, we'll have to keep an eye on that tip, because that tip extending is saying, I'm really cold over here. So you might see him use the torch on that every now and then.
Yeah, that's definitely something you're thinking about. I'm also thinking about, thank you, Oliver, the temperature that punny went on there. You know, it was a little bit chilly when it went on, so that means I'm going to be setting it down at the bench. It's a really fragile connection, so I'll be moving a little bit slower and more precise.
And this is, Oliver's got the fluffer torch available and the other torch, so while Jake's working on the top, if he feels it needs color, that's the role of the assistant, is to kind of keep on the eye on that, because Jake is thinking about how he's opening it up and he's not paying attention to that so much.
It very much could potentially get a fluffy poo on it once we,
What does fluffy poo look like?
You want to show them what fluffy poo looks like, Oliver?
To catch up on comments, we are having the great cranberry debate in the.
Oh yeah, so where are we at?
So we've got Shane says
Beautiful.
love cranberry jelly, Susan says fresh only, and then we kind of took a hard right and Carrie said spam and eggs.
Carrie.
And then Robin said I like to make fresh and mix it with the jelly one. And then Roniza came back with the spam and said fried spam with brown sugar.
Interesting.
Jody says my nephew is a chef and makes the best cranberry sauce.
Yeah, there we go.
Donna says only cranberry orange relish.
Yes,
That
I
sounds
do like
pretty
that.
tasty.
John says spam is stuff posing as meat. That's what the acronym stands for.
Stuff
posing as meat. Spam.
Wow. Seems about right.
You guys like teach us all these things. I love it.
Trevor, to go completely off topic, says, I finally got my chicken with a cowboy hat from my parents, and I love it. Thank you guys, and here's to many more custom pieces. You guys are awesome.
Trevor, you're the man.
I was
cool.
actually the one who wrapped that up for them when they picked that up. He was so cute.
So good.
Cutie. All
Great
those custom
family.
orders for them turned out super nice.
Yeah, they get a custom order. I mean, at least 1, 2, or probably 3 in-house here at the local family, and really cool to see them come back multiple shows in a row. Cowboy hat theme going on. It was pretty sweet.
And like from doing the cowboy hats on the snowmen, like they already knew how to do them.
You don't seem like you need a paddle or nothing on that.
Nothing.
I got it.
He
Looks
needs nothing.
So that, I'd have to say, is maybe not a double. It's probably a shot and a half, but I think the elegance of that shape, instead of opening up wider on the bottom, makes it all worth it. We're going to go for a clear handle to match that clear bit on the bottom.
It's going to be one that I'm going to hold vertical. You're going to pull it down and do all that jazz?
No, let's just do a solid one that we want to hit as a cylinder, about the diameter of like my finger, like that.
Okay. You got it. Can I jump back on like the cranberry topic real quick while I'm prepping this bit?
Bring it.
I'm surprised that everyone got caught up on the cranberry sauce. They forgot about cranberry juice.
Yeah, what the heck?
Well, cranberry juice is sweetened, is why I don't like it. It doesn't have a supernatural flavor.
I had that tart stuff you brought over for
Like the
Thanksgiving or
concentrate.
whenever it was.
Yeah, and
Without drinking alcohol with it, I didn't really know how to serve it to myself. You
Sparkling
drink it and
water?
it was like, you know, it was super tart. But sparkling water, I just
and
don't
then you
drink
can
a lot
add
anymore.
a little maple syrup to it to break the tartness.
Yeah.
A splash of lemon
Interesting.
juice.
So
That's
I
beautiful,
love tart things. I love cranberry
love
juice
tart.
in all flavors. But I remember, I don't know if they still make commercials or not, but like the ocean spray commercials where it's the two farmers in the ocean. Yep. And the big
Sorry,
cranberry
it's
farm.
In the cranberry bog.
Yeah. That. I always think of that commercial whenever I drink cranberry juice.
That was just perfect.
Just those two farmers handpicking
That was
those
a
cranberries
good
for me.
marketing campaign.
Yeah, it really was. Oh my god, it's already hard enough putting on a regular size handle. Sometimes making things smaller isn't any easier.
Usually
But-
it's harder.
Yeah, that was a perfect prep though, Oliver. It pulled off perfectly even.
Watch that tip.
I know, I'm nervous about pushing it off the pipe too. I was pushing it a little bit, not a lot, but that little bit of pressure will.
You want me to flash your punty?
Yeah, you could hit the tip of it. The punny's looking good, but just tenderly hit that tip so it doesn't reduce. All right, I'm gonna trade with you, and like I was mentioning, Oliver, be real gentle setting it down.
Super gentle.
And I'm gonna go for the ring here. I'm kind of leaning towards cranberry for the ring. What do you think?
I like the idea of cranberry.
So the
All
timing's
right.
everything on this, you guys. And just to remind you, Oliver's never been a part of a process like this. We've never done it together.
Nope.
I appreciate both Oliver and Matt because they're always like, okay.
They're champions. That's all they are.
I mean, you got to try new stuff.
Yeah.
If you do it once, you can do it again.
Sometimes you gotta try new stuff in front of a live audience.
And like, push the limits of where you're going.
Take one more flash and actually I think you're going to be holding up that handle tool as you have the pipe in your left hand. Just multitasking a
Do you
bunch.
want me to hold it
Yeah.
right here?
You could maybe actually.
Yeah, let me do it. You got shears?
Because once it gets slippery, it's going to be a funky one. All right. Angle it down a little bit. Thank you, Oliver. Perfect timing. That mic has fallen off.
Mike gone rogue.
Look
Torch
at
that
that
spot right there.
teamwork. Teamwork
Oh, I
makes
need
the
a light
dream
on the
work.
torch there.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay, torch that right there on the tip a little bit. Good, yeah.
Ooh, living on the edge.
Fingers gonna sizzle. Here we go. Let go. Come off.
What?
All right, take it right to. Oh. Gentle.
You guys all holding your breath out there because I sure was.
Of course, my microphone starts hitting me in the forehead, falls off right onto my shirt, right in the middle of all that.
Just do it perfect every
All right, I'll
time.
take it. That's cool. Not too hot.
All right, so now he's got to watch the heat of this and make sure
Yep.
everything's balanced.
And we're not
So-
done yet.
He can use the torch there. The putty looks good. It's a little clear.
We love custom orders. Could you hand me that handle tool over there?
Yep.
Because
You don't need this.
they're amazing, and we always pimp them out. But when it comes from one of our own here in the studio, we gotta
There's
throw a
no
little extra
messing
mojo
around.
in there.
The other thing that
looks
Jake
good.
makes look seamless but takes a hot minute to learn is attaching the handle on straight and then having everything line up with the pipe.
Oh
It's
my
nice
God,
symmetry going down the whole side of the piece.
Amy. That is cool, and we're not done. We need a tiny little adventurine bit for the jewel.
For the jewel. Okay. Okay.
And it can't be overheated either because we'll lose
like,
real tiny.
do you want me to try and like super tiny 2 coats of Venturine encase it? Okay, just super tiny 2 coats,
Won't
get it
be
right.
able to get it small enough.
Amy
I want to
says-
use this.
Amy
Sorry.
says that looks super good, guys, with a bunch of heart eye emojis.
It's looking really good, and I forget the name of the 2 people again.
Sam and Bridget.
Sam and
Bridget.
Bridget. Yeah, those guys are
Had
going
a
to be
recall.
sipping well, as long as we get this off the pipe. And we're doing really good on time. That means we're going to be able to get a giveaway done here, and I think we might, should we maybe do a read for the giveaway? We could do our final triple color tech, our 3rd color tech.
Sure.
Awesome.
Just don't make
Just
it
enough
jumbo
heat that I can
size
cut
or
it off.
weird shape.
Yeah, I gotta
Shipping
get
is a
one more
thing.
hash
Poor
speck on
Robin.
there.
It's like, hey,
I'll put 'em on as
Robin.
hash specks, essentially.
When you heat it up, will you not put it in the flame? Keep it in front of the flame?
Yeah.
I'll be ready as soon as you are.
If you guys have bought any of our glass, can you put it in the chat and let people know how it was shipped? We got Robin, our shipping girl, watching. We have an amazing track record for shipping glass. I understand that's
Just
one
a
of
little
the
bit longer.
biggest
You might want to take
hang-ups
one
for
last
people
flash. I'm just letting that color melt in.
is they're nervous about the glass getting
And it just
shipped
melted
and
in.
breaking.
As soon as you sit down, I'm coming your way.
And if you haven't bought any glass from us, whether it's this show or on the website, consider it, folks. This is how we make our living.
And if you want to support us, subscribe to our YouTube page.
Yep.
Super simple, doesn't cost
Not
a
the
thing.
YouTube page. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
And it just gets more traction on our site. So we appreciate that.
Oh,
It looks like a ring.
dude. It's pretty sweet, man.
pretty freaking tight. Look at that. That is some marriage, double shooting, bright color action. If you guys are a subscribing member through our website, you'll see the annealer reveal, which we post on Thursdays, and that's when all these products come out and they're cooled down in bright colors. That'll be bright green, and we'll talk about the process, what went down on the show, recap the show here today.
You can see here at the bottom, right there, starting to cool off. So you can start to see the green color, but it's not going to be its true color until it cools off.
What's the price of our Star membership, our first
Star
level?
supporters are $8.
$8 to get extra content, see the annealer reveal, and be a part of what's going on behind the scenes. I'm going to take one more flash, and we're going to knock it off, but we could probably put it away with the hook, like the ornament hook. You give it a nice flash.
Yeah.
We've got a couple
torch it.
comments about our shipping.
Okay.
Let's see here. Sharon says, I've bought, but I'm local, so I pick up. However, I will say I've seen Robin in action, and she's absolutely awesome. Taryn says, or Sue says, Taryn said, her 3 reads arrived totally unscathed. Robin rocks.
Unscathed.
Carol says, all of my boxes were shipped to Canada, and everything came out perfect. Thank you, Robin. Icarus says, I have never received a piece broken. Mary says, I have purchased
What are you
about
looking
10
for?
pieces. Robin is amazing as a glass packer. There you go. Proof. Susan
Okay.
says, I received my pocket vase on Saturday in perfect condition.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is such a tasty little situation.
And again, running over through the forest, around
or
the
bottom?
chalkboard,
Top.
whiteboard,
Just gently.
to the box.
Nice, dude.
Ooh, that ring
Beautiful.
turned out awesome,
That was
man.
super cool. Great colors, great calm, composed action. That was definitely, and you see it took a third person for us to do that. You could have held
Yeah.
that, but thinking about the piece and the angle, not having to hit your hand and
Yeah.
everything. And you weren't even torching it either, so that would have been a third hand. We needed Michelle to help with that one.
Shout out to Michelle.
Good thing the gimbal only takes one hand.
That was just beautiful.
All right.
Before we do housekeeping, can we make this box be part of the housekeeping?
Yes, let me get my quickly thrown away jeans out of the way. I did receive a really nice birthday gift from Oliver this morning.
So, can I tell the people about
Yeah,
this a
you
little
gotta-
bit?
yeah, you do.
Because there's a story here. For the last couple of weeks now, Jake's been coming into the studio and he just has himself a little snack and he puts it out on a paper towel and has it right here next to him on the bench with his coffee and his water. And it's just a big old carrot. So I was at the store the other day and I saw something and I was like, that's for Jake.
Look at this.
I
as
really
big as your
enjoy
head.
that they're in a cat food box.
I know. That's what I was like, meow mix. What's wrong with the end?
The end's the big, dirty, hairy part that's sticking in the ground.
You don't want the end.
Now, what I was wondering is, are these GMO super crazy son of a guns that have no flavor?
They're just a different breed that's like for deer feed or something.
Or for humans?
Those carrots are going to make you 8 feet tall.
Yeah. 20/50 vision.
20/50 vision.
20/50 vision is terrible.
It is. Oh,
50/20 vision.
That's
Optometrist.
you don't want that. You want 20/20 or lower. The lower the number, the better.
I did not know that.
Well, that's why we got tech support around here. We can't figure it all out.
All right, so
Housekeeping.
yes, housekeeping. Couple things. First off, before I get to the giveaway winner, I've been kind of trying to keep track of just in the comments the different countries of viewers we've had come through. I wanted to read off this list. If I am missing you, tell us in the comments. I've got Australia, Mexico, the US, Canada, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Germany. If you
So
are
good.
not in one of those countries and you're watching, go ahead and put it in the comments because I love keeping track and seeing this. It's super, super cool.
I've seen some like crazy looking names, so I think there's some other countries we're missing.
Yep, I was just writing down when people said hi from this country. I was writing it down.
Maybe they
so-
don't know English and they're just watching us.
Also
That
true.
could be it too.
Also true. As far as housekeeping, so our question last week was, what's the funniest name you can think of for one of our glass sheep? I have starred a couple of my favorites on the list. We had a lot of people going with the Bobby, Barbara. We had Wilhelmina. It's a pretty good one. I liked Shenanigan the sheep.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
A couple people said Hugh Jackman, but EWE.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Lamborghini was another good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
My personal favorite, I don't know who sent this in, but Squiggle Fuzzbucket the sheep.
Who's
in
that?
all caps. I don't know who said it, but this was an entry for a question for last week.
Son of a gun.
I love when you guys get creative with that. And we had a couple, Eunice, Eugene, but they're all spelled EWE. Our winner, and again, it is chosen at random. We put all of your names on a wheel. Our winner said Babs with a lot of A's in the middle.
Babs.
And so congratulations to, can you get our giveaway actually?
Oh,
The
look at
giveaway
this son
sheep
of a
is
gun.
ginormous.
This is for free to one of our incredible customers.
just by sharing their winning name with us. Come on now.
You guys should all enter for the piece we're about to make.
That could be Babs.
So this is going to go to, congratulations, Teresa Chapman.
All right.
Teresa, congrats.
You'll get an email that tells you what
Absolutely.
next steps to do. We just ask that you pay for shipping, but we'll ship it out to you.
It's a one-of-a-kinder.
Anywhere in the US.
He's a cutie.
Little cutie.
I don't have anything else crazy for housekeeping. I did want to mention to you guys, keep following us on social, keep sharing our social. It is the best way to support one of your favorite small businesses for free, totally for free. You don't have to be a member of anything to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Go ahead and follow us. You can always subscribe to our YouTube, which is a free thing. It'll just help give you notifications of when we're going live, things like that. And then if you do want to support us in a bigger and amazing way, you can also join and become a member with us. You could be a star supporter, which is $8 a month, or you can be, for $48 a month, a member of our loyalty league, and that'll give you access to a ton more perks. The membership for these is not always going to be constantly open and running, so if it's something you're thinking about doing, definitely go ahead and jump in to do that now. It will close at some point. I know Michelle's probably working out the details of how exactly that all is going to work. But if you're thinking about becoming a member, go ahead and jump on the opportunity now before that closes for a little bit.
It's pretty cool, and I promise you guys, these collectible marinis are going to be the sweetest thing ever. We're going to have these...
We got the bags ready. We got the little velvet bags
velvet
ready.
bags. I can picture them like 4 years from now when we've got members, and it's been 4 years since we started streaming 259 shows. And if anybody's been watching since the beginning, put it in the chat on whatever channel you're on, YouTube, Facebook. Really cool to see both the comments, but somebody 4 years from now to have, you know, however many 10, 15, 8 Marinis that we're going to be putting out lined up in the windowsill with the sun shining through them. We
So
see
these
a
are
picture of them on the
collectible
Addicts page.
Items only for people in the Loyalty League. They're
It's
not
not a
sold in
product we sell.
stores, not sold
they
in
take
the
a lot
gallery.
of time, and they're going to be a lot of
Not
polishing,
online.
a lot of holding with the fingers like this, and I know exactly the people that are going to be on that job.
Matt.
Oh,
Jay, I had this thought the other day about all the Marinis. I know I shared one thing that I had with you, but I had a separate idea where after like 10 years, someone has like so many Marinis and they learn glass blowing and they made their own like Marini vase out of our collectible Marinis that we supplied them.
Maybe we should save our own. I mean, that's a beautiful story too, but we should also save a few from each batch because
we might have to do something
someone's
like that.
10-year anniversary, 5-year anniversary.
so we're doing a specialty piece next.
Yes, we're doing the final, most tasty, really good piece. We've got something preheating right there.
All right, those look like some sort of
And I know I
Marinis or
mentioned
eyeballs.
earlier that
There's the
maybe some
plate.
of my people from my other job were watching. I see Lori in the comments, so thanks for watching, Lori. Got new people watching.
New people?
New people.
Beautiful. I guess I asked for the OGs, but would love to see, as Bess was asking, who's new.
Empty. Color.
So I apologize for the delay in glass action here, folks, but I'm queuing it up right now.
That's okay because Michelle's getting some really cool shots with that light shining on that frit, and it's
Oh,
really
yeah, it would
sparkling on
pop.
screen. It's super cool.
Very cool, very cool.
I just want to read a comment here too from Shri and Dan Cameron on YouTube. They are actually the parents of Trevor. Trevor mentioned the chick with the hat a little bit ago. They said family tradition. The wife has over 20 pieces with about 15 being custom, and now Trevor's collecting. So that's super, super cool.
Wow.
That does happen, doesn't it? It's kind of funny. You start one, and then it's like an addiction that you just keep going and going. All right, Jake's dipping up. I don't know yet, so I can't really tell you what's going on. I think they're adding some color, but I'm not sure where.
Yep. This is going to be
Oliver
a
just
really
gonna
picked
be
up
on the
the
glass.
straight carrot piece.
I have heard that when you add carrot to the glass, nothing happens.
Burnt carrot would probably
It
be
doesn't.
a bad
It doesn't
no.
scream like the mushrooms.
No, oh my God.
The mushroom clip is one of my favorites.
Still ta-
We
like,
should probably
yeah.
go back and chop that up and just grab that portion and the sound.
just post it.
So
We
whenever
just
we
had
bring it
that.
up, we could just throw that up.
I want an audio clip of that and a button to press to make it happen.
I'll work on it, Oliver. A couple comments. Mary Lou says, "Oh my gosh, it's been 4 years. It seems like yesterday I watched the first live."
It really does.
Sharon says, "I'm watching on YouTube, commenting on Facebook, and I've been here since the first show." Julie says, "I've been here since the beginning."
Oh yeah. A lot
You
of
know-
familiar names.
Yeah, some of
Appreciate you
these
all.
people, when we went back in photos, I'll see them in photos before the pandemic started.
But a huge shout out to all the unfamiliar names too, because we know there's a lot of people out there that don't necessarily enjoy commenting, or they're just focusing on the video, having a great time. People we see, I recognize your face, but maybe we haven't talked very much in the gallery here. And just names I see on orders, you know, big supporters of the Glass Academy that may not be talking a bunch on the show. We appreciate you guys as well.
Oh, and you know what? Sometimes the comments, people watch the show later. They're at work still.
Yep.
They've got things going on at night. They've got kids.
I'm going to go
Andy-
into this, Mom, and I'll show it to you right after I come
Andy
out.
says, "I'm new here." Hello, Andy. Thanks for watching.
What up, Annie?
Let's see here. Carol says the screaming mushrooms were something else. Yes, they were. Sheila says, "Somehow I just found you today," with a heart. Sheila, how'd you find us? Did Facebook just suggest us to you?
Or was it YouTube?
She commented on Facebook.
Oh, okay, got it.
So I'm assuming Facebook, maybe we were a suggested video, but I'd love to hear how you found us.
I think in the beginning when we have something really juicy and everyone comments.
Yep.
Couple of comments here that I want to touch on real quick, Bess.
Absolutely.
We've got a couple people asking, saying like they're watching from Mississippi. Where are we located at? We are in Dearborn, Michigan, just right outside of Detroit, essentially.
The home of Henry Ford.
Home of the Henry Ford. I see Dave saying that we're going for the perps. Dave, we're gonna surprise you. We're not going for the perps on this one. You might have to stick around to see if you can guess what color it is.
I see where he got that incorrect. You know, he's darn close. This
it looks super similar.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're going in it again.
It's all good.
I did not know.
And then I saw so many comments from people saying how awesome of a job Robin does. And I always want to take a time to highlight how awesome of a job Robin does with our shipping.
Our shipping champion, and if I'm not mistaken, she was here. She knew the Glass Academy before the pandemic. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robin, but joined us once we got the live shows going and all that goodness. And she
I don't
ships
even
out.
know how some of these people came about. It's just like they show up because they had been a guest here, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, you got a job opening? What?"
Look at the depth of that swirl.
All right, hold still.
Robin had a table full of glass like you guys would not imagine today. And when she walked in the door, I even texted her last night and said, "Robin, get ready for tomorrow." And when she walked in the door, I was like, "Yep, there it is over there, but, you know, we're still waiting on the annealer to come down, and we got about 15, 20 more pieces for you." Robin, we had a huge event here at the studio, and I can't believe it all got done today, so shouts out. Super
Yeah,
cool.
she did amazing. We had a
Fantastic.
custom order. We had
I
a
feel
private happy hour and the class stuff.
Pammy's in the comments on the Facebook side of things is always like the biggest proponent for how good of a job she does, talking about how Pammy gets things shipped to Australia and they always come out perfect.
This looks cool. I don't know if it's going to focus on there, but that little
Oh, yeah, hold
separation
still.
of color, I'm trying as best I can.
Woo-wee.
You can see it?
Bess is getting it too.
It's beautiful. And this is not even the best part of the color pattern yet, you guys. Just you wait.
Am I grabbing it?
Give me a little bit of a minute here. I'm going to get it
Okay.
shaped up. I'm actually going to pull out. I'm going to shape up almost the entire shape here. And then we'll torch and introduce each little one as we go.
Okay. We're being nondescript right now because we like having a mystery.
The mystery.
The
The mystery to me is how this thing, maybe it's just melting on my face, keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Do you want me to come over there and try and like get you straight real quick, dude?
Weren't you
Caress
supposed to
it?
put it on your
Listen.
other ear so it doesn't go to the heat?
Just like get. Oh,
Every time I try and tighten it down, it breaks.
Just don't snap it. That's how we've lost one.
How do rock stars do it?
Feels pretty good.
Thanks, buddy.
Oliver knows how to work it.
Hey, I want to do a shout out to Carrie. She was in town this weekend.
I'm so sad I missed her.
Oh,
God, that looks cool.
she helped us with some stuff in the gallery.
It was good seeing Carrie.
She just hung out, talked hockey because I don't want to. Went to the sauna.
Carrie got to be a little guest superstar in the Anila reveal, right?
That's true. Carrie is a Super Ultra League member. Can you correct me on the name of that?
Loyalty
Super
League.
Ultra
The
League member?
$48 one is the Loyalty League?
Loyalty
Okay.
League member. Thank you, everybody.
I didn't know if you were just creating a whole nother level for Carrie or not.
We thought
That's
you
what
were
I was
vamping,
like.
dude.
Where were you going with this?
That just sounds like any other thing you'd say.
Holy son of a gun, that looks cool.
As you stretch it out, it's going
It's
to
the
become
giveaway.
Thinner and thinner.
Hey,
Morna has a great question that I don't think we've had asked recently. Morna says, when you leave the shop at night, do all of the ovens and furnaces get turned off or turned down, or just curious how that works?
The glory holes get turned off.
Oh my God.
that's
look at
that one.
That's that guy right behind Jake that we're using. The ovens will get cycled to have product in them. And they'll take about anywhere from 12 to 120 hours to come down, depending on what's in the box. And then the furnaces stay on every single day, 24/7, 365.
And why is that?
All right, Oliver.
Because they take like 3 days to come down, 3 days to come up, and it doesn't fit into like a 2-day weekend schedule. But we do get pretty radical, and we turn it down 100 degrees.
Yeah. Pretty radical. So there's our twist for now. Now, I think I got it carried away looking at the color pattern. Probably should have done this a little bit earlier. But let's see what happens here. I'll probably get 2 on at a time, Oliver.
Okay, I'll just give this a quick flash.
This was a special treat Jake was mentioning.
All right, I'm ready.
So this is the giveaway. I'm going to
Give it
go
a
ahead and
little-
put the question up on the screen here in just a second. I am stepped away from the computer right now.
Yeah, gave it a little left-right stagger.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys, somebody's going to win this
I'm gonna take a
totally,
flash, you take a flash after
absolutely
me.
for
Yep.
free next week, which is totally awesome. So to enter to win,
There, this
you
thing
guys
came
are
from the
going to
ocean.
answer the question, how do our
It's like-
creations inspire you to try new things? And you're going to send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com to enter to win. I do have that question up on the screen for you guys. It'll go away in
Yep.
just a second as well. But you're going to take your answers and send them to that email address. If you put your answers in the chat, we love to read them, but it doesn't get you entered. So make sure you are putting those in the email. Also, when you send us an email, if you could please, very kindly, put your name in the email. It helps us, helps Donna know exactly who our winner is so that there's no confusion because, you know, not everybody's
We'll do 2
email
more on
addresses
there.
have their name in their email.
Like Butterfly 42. It's like,
Cute
who's
email, but we don't know who you are.
You're going to be indulging my ideas for the next week on this.
This is looking super cool.
This is
Are you
so
inspired
tasty.
by octopus?
Totally. I just said over there, I don't know if you guys heard it, but this is straight out of the ocean. And the cooler this gets, the more you're seeing the color pattern in the core, and it only adds to the mojo, baby.
Is this because the wings are playing right now? You got an
That's what I
octopus on
was
your
like.
mind?
They better be winning. That's all I know.
I know last Carrie updated, they were down by 1.
What?
Don't say that. We could break the peace.
Should we get one more in there? I kind of feel like we should.
You got to just
do them all.
do it.
Just do it. We got plenty of time.
Look at it. It looks sweet.
Oh my God. Here we go.
It's what the glass wants.
They're rounding out beautifully as well. Going right up the side with it.
That's
I know,
what
I gotta tuck
think
it up
is
in there.
nice, the rounding out part.
Yeah. Ideally, we'll get them so they just look like little barnacle deals.
I feel like this is one of those things where we don't get any say on
It's
how
just the
many go
glass.
on this. The glass is telling us
Yeah.
what it wants.
Yeah.
I do
And I'm
like-
also... Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say, Karen in the Blown Away show, she's just like, I sit down at the bench and let my hands take over. I was like, that's a pretty cool, like, creative,
I love
let
that.
it come through me.
Yeah. Yep.
As we're ending the show here, there are 2 reads left available still on tonight's table.
Just 2
and
of
there
them?
are just 2 of them. And then we've got 4 cute little chickens by Matt still available as well. So if you guys are interested in those, I did put the link in the chat a little earlier.
I think that's going to be it, Oliver.
And those items stay on the website page until next week.
So there's a beautiful situation that happened where originally I said, man, I probably shouldn't have twisted it first. But by me twisting it first, sorry, I'm yelling, everybody. By me twisting it first, I realized that it really allowed me to follow the contour of the twist and really make these sit correct. If I had twisted it after the fact, I don't think they would have been going into and the very tip of them hiding the way
they
that
would
they
have
are right
lost
now.
their shape because when you twisted it up and pulled it, they wouldn't be round. They would have turned
Oval.
into like, yeah.
Totally.
And this Marini is clear on the inside.
It's bright green on the outside, 1 layer of clear, 1 layer of black, and then clear on the inside. So
Yeah,
it's
because they
super
look like
glassy.
donuts.
They look like something really cool. And then this piece is for free, folks, to somebody out there.
to somebody who like
Signed
entered
up.
the contest.
Candace had a quick question in the chat about what temperature do our furnaces run?
So the working temperature of glass is 2100 degrees Fahrenheit. Someone in the comments will give us a Celsius conversions, and we'll trust them blindly.
That was last week when Bess wasn't here.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not fun.
But we like it a little bit hotter. Like, we'll work anywhere from 2140 to like 2175, and that doesn't sound like a big temperature difference, but the fluidity of the glass changes so much
Yeah, at that moment.
that it gives us just so much more working time with the glass. And that's about where we like to keep it. Like 2150, 2160 is kind of our daily temperatures. And when we leave for the day, we'll turn it down to a whopping 2000.
How did I miss this? Where did the copper piece go?
Where did it go?
Yeah.
Not sure.
I don't want to break your heart, but the Wings are down 2-0 right now.
The copper piece.
It's horrible. About to fall out of the playoffs because of a priority waste company. All right, folks. Don't need to film this one, but I'm going to get it off. I'm going to put it away. Goodbye.
Yeah. Did you guys put it on the floor?
I love this.
Like, where did it go?
What are you looking for?
The copper piece.
Oh, it's right there.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. All right, here's the piece that we did.
I was like, what copper piece? There's a lot of copper over here, but I don't know what you're talking about.
So I was trying, like, here's a hole, so that didn't work. Will you lift it up, Bess? Yeah.
Up. Well, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
answer there. She told me to lift it up, and there we went.
Nice, Bess.
Thanks.
Nice move.
But it's like a little cage cup. We'll try it again next week in a better way.
Thanks, dude. All I gotta say is the anneal reveal is gonna be a blast on Thursday. We got some bright colors to look at. We got some cool stuff to look at.
I'm excited. For those of you who are members and going to watch the anneal reveal, as long as I'm on the camera, there's going to be a lot of waffling about on this one, because I got a lot to say about these pieces.
A lot of thoughts. And if you're not a member, that's totally cool, because this was the process. This was the 2-hour video.
Yeah.
This is what we're here for. We love showing you guys the process, teaching you about glass, and showing you off our family business here. Been here since 2001. Bess?
I have a Celsius conversion for you real quick.
Oh, yeah. Would you
give
do
it to
this?
us now.
Pammy says roughly 1,150 degrees Celsius for the
Okay.
furnaces.
And
So
I'm
when
gonna
I said
trust
like
Pammy.
14,000 last week, I was completely wrong.
Little off.
Yeah.
We had
Little
people
off.
giving us Celsius conversions down to like the 4th decimal place.
I love
It
it.
was insane.
I do love it.
Yeah.
Can I show off Matt's pieces one more time in the final 2 reads? Because, Michelle, you commented on this one, and we think it's one of the nicest ones on the table with the Adventurine bright orange. Beautiful, beautiful, full S-bend.
Oh, and you get
Same with this
the
one.
pole with it.
And remember, you guys, that this, imagine white underneath here. This popping out of the white ground and sparkling and showing off a bunch of color in your yard is ridiculous. And we've got the rebar available for purchase as well.
The orange is a great pop of color against the plants.
Oh,
Bunch of bright
so
color.
Good. I mean, this was so fun putting them in here.
Was this made for sale, or is this still up
Yeah,
on the
he's
website?
still up there.
The medallion sheep from last week with the GA medallion. I mean, come on. I can't believe that didn't
We
sell.
need to be popping some rap music right now.
But, I mean, Matt's pieces are amazing. Super clean, delicate, solid glass.
Very cute.
Bright colors. It's a full, beautiful rooster shape. We got the bright
As
orange,
opposed to a half rooster shape.
baby Yoda green, and half roosters. You know, that's, I don't know.
I love
don't
the
know.
blue one because the details really pop on there.
Dose blues. Yep.
I'd like to
Beautiful.
point out on Matt's work that he's using color like super sparingly, and I think that's such a bold choice, especially for like the first piece that he's bringing into the gallery. There's so much clear going on here.
Yeah.
That like, when you use clear like this, there's nowhere to hide
No room for
any
error.
imperfections. So like, Matt's been working really hard on this stuff, everybody. I get to work with Matt on all this stuff and like see the progression that he's making, and this is just a wonderful display of his talent.
Thank you.
Super
we
cool.
just have one more thing I want to show, and then we're off for the night.
Yes, great call. Look at how bright that
So
turned
someone
out.
asked, yep, if it's too thick, that's what happens. It blows up. This part, we will anneal it because it is too thick to use, but the color is insane. And then it gets thinner, 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 and goes down the line. You want to talk us out?
Not the worst pull in the world, not the best, but we're going to use it. We appreciate you all. Any final words over here from you guys and your shenanigans?
Brainstorming, we'll fill you in later, but
Yeah,
we
right,
had a very
yeah.
synchronized little suction cup moment for.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of hardcore, folks.
Okay, we're going to do our credits. If you are a Loyalty League or Star supporter, you're going to see your name in lights.
All right.
Shouts out, everybody. We appreciate you. Have a beautiful one.
Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.